Hi everyone, it's Alan Lepofsky from Constellation Research here. In this short video, I'm going to be comparing the Web Clipper tool from both Evernote and Microsoft OneNote. The reason I'm doing this is today, or a few days ago, Microsoft announced a new migration tool from Evernote to OneNote. And it got a lot of people talking, and it had a lot of people asking me questions about which is better, so on and so forth. I'm not going to be answering the which is better question today. I am a user of both Evernote and OneNote. There are things I like about each, and there's things I dislike about each. But the one thing I do want to cover in this video, like I mentioned, is that Web Clipper tool. Now, like I said, there are things about Evernote I dislike, but I have to say that the Web Clipper tool is by far one of my favorite pieces of software on my computer. I think it's a phenomenal tool, and I'm going to step you through why today. So let's start with, I guess, well, first of all, let me just show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Evernote Web Clipper from March, so 6.7.1, and the OneNote Clipper from start of December 2.1.3. So those are the two that are installed, and I'm doing this in Chrome on my Mac. So that's what we've got set up. So let's go through and do some example clips. So let's start with the blog post itself that announced this migration tool. So I'm going to come over here on the left, and I am going to start it with Evernote, and I will come over here on the right, and I will clip it with OneNote's Clipper. So a couple things you're going to notice. First thing is in Evernote, you can actually change the title of what you're going to do, something I do for pretty much every clip. I always come in here and go News, Microsoft Migration Tool. You know, I change the title of almost everything I clip to suit sort of the needs that I have. Let's ignore that for a second, sorry. Let's work our way down, or let's look over here on the OneNote tool. You notice I don't see any way here to change the title, which is fine, perhaps for most people. Maybe people take the default title. I often find them long and irrelevant because a lot of people put information in those to sort of help their search engine optimization rather than making it a good title. Anyway, I digress. Here you can change the title, here you can't. Now let's look at the ways you can actually clip. So over in OneNote, you have the ability, sorry, in Evernote on the left, you have the ability to clip the entire article. So it gets you the entire page. If you scroll down, you'll see it's going to get everything about this page. The version that I use the most often is simplified article, which actually takes away all the extra stuff around the edges and gives you just the text and the graphics. I find myself doing this 95% of the time. You can go to full page, which is different than article. I'll actually show you this on the next example. It makes a little bit more sense. Or you can just save yourself a bookmark about this. So you get the nice title and some information about it. Probably shouldn't block it with the screen here, but I think if I change the resolution, I've got these two windows squished next to each other, you'd see this normally doesn't happen. Or you can take a screenshot of the page, either the entire page or just a section of the page. I can come in here and I can say I want to grab this. One of the nice things about the screenshotting tool is you get a whole bunch of annotation things. You get this highlighter, and you get a whole bunch of different arrows and shapes, and you can crop it and do all sorts of things. You can annotate these images. You can even add like little sticky notes, and I can come over here and say, hey, I've got a question about this. Anyway, you get the point, or you can even blur stuff out. So there's a whole bunch of annotation tools that you get when you're using that. Let's bring that screen back up again. So article, simplified article, bookmark, screenshot, and we're going to take a look at article and full page in a little bit in a few minutes. Let's compare this over to the right hand side with Microsoft OneNote. You have three options: full page, region, or article. Now, you need to point out clearly that full page and region are screenshots. They are not text versions of the article that you'll then be able to search and look through things. So if I click over here and go full page, I'm going to get a nice screenshot of everything you see on screen. If I go region and come over here, you can click. Notice, again, no annotation tools or anything, or I can go to article. Now, when I am doing any of these options in Evernote, one of the things that I like, and again, do this 95% of the time that I am doing web clips, is I can highlight information. So the way I work is when news comes out, I'm an analyst, I have to read about all these companies' news. I come in and I read the web page, and I highlight it as I'm reading it so it reminds me, and then I hit save and I put it into Evernote for use later. Now, continuing down sort of the features, they're both pretty similar from this point forward. You can choose which folder to put them in, or notebook to put them in. So Evernote has done it here, put it in my Constellation folder, or I can put it in any of my others. And come over here in OneNote, and let's see, it's taking a little while here. Well, normally it pulls up the list. I guess one more issue against the Microsoft OneNote one, but normally it will show me a list of my folder locations. I don't know what's going on right now, but that doesn't bode well. You can add tags, which I cannot do over here in the Microsoft OneNote, so I'm constantly tagging things. So I come in here and I go news, and I could say, Microsoft, and it fills it in. So, and it starts to add the tags there. Add remark. This is a great article. And you can do the same thing over here. You can add a note over here on the Microsoft side. So comparing these two just at the basic level, as a quick review, Evernote, I can change the title. Microsoft, I can't. Evernote, I have tons of different types of clips that I can do. Microsoft, I don't. When I do screenshots in the Evernote world, I can annotate it. In the Microsoft world, I cannot. I can organize it. Those I'd say are about equal. I don't know why the Microsoft one's not working at the moment. There are a couple cool things, though, I should point out, even on the organizing. Let me kind of give a quick plug here. One of the things that the notebook selection can do, it can use smart filing. So it actually looks through sort of some keywords and decides to help you. The last one that you used, or always put it in a certain folder. So while I did say that the organization are on par with each other, they're actually not. Evernote's organization, which folder to put it in or which notebook to put it in, is actually better. Evernote has tagging. The Microsoft one does not. And they both have note-taking. Now let's just take a look at a couple other quick examples. Let's go to more of a news article as opposed to a blog post. So let's TechCrunch, site that I use all the time, obviously, as a tech person. And I'm going to come over here on the left and do Evernote, and I'm going to come over here on the right and do OneNote. And I want to point out some of the things that work really well in the Evernote side of things. So again, I am looking, this is where I'm going to sort of explain that article versus full page. Let's do full page to start with. And you'll see it puts this green line around everything that it's going to clip, all the way down to the bottom. It's going to get the entire page, in other words, full page. But what if I want just the article? You'll see it creates a box around just the article itself. It's a long article. I apologize. I should have chose a simpler one. But you see this plus minus. See, it's grayed out all this stuff at the bottom, and it's grayed out all the stuff over here on the right. So it's not grabbing any of that. Now, I can adjust this simply by clicking plus, and it's going to start to expand more. Or I can click minus, and it's going to grab less. And what it's doing, it's grabbing, basically from the cascading style sheet of the page, or from the layout, the HTML of the page. It kind of knows the sections. I can work my way down to, even just grabbing this, and, maybe I just want to grab that. So again, these aren't screenshots. This is actually text. And again, I can do all my highlighting and things. So come over here on the right, and, I just basically get the article, my only choice. Again, simplicity goes to Microsoft. Use, powerful features, goes to Evernote. Now, here's where things get really interesting on the Evernote side. Evernote has this feature called popular website clipping. What this does is they've actually programmed their Evernote web clipper to do some really special, detailed things for various sites on the web. Things like LinkedIn, YouTube, I think Amazon orders, your Gmail, if you want to clip things that are from your Gmail. There's a whole bunch of different sites. Yeah, here, Gmail, LinkedIn, YouTube, Amazon, and I think they have some new ones too. I think this article is from, almost a year old. So let me show you what those are. So I'm going to go into my profile in LinkedIn, and let's clip that thing. Okay? Notice it has a new special thing here called LinkedIn. And what I can do is I can simply, check off the sections of my profile. or the person's profile that I'm looking at. Now, I do this all the time because for every product briefing I do, I want to know who the person I'm on the other or on the phone talking to. So I go and look at their LinkedIn profile before my meetings start. So I think this is really, really cool. Let's go over and look at what a LinkedIn profile looks like when it's clipped in Microsoft OneNote. When you do a LinkedIn page, you have the screenshot options. Let's look at article, and it kind of, I don't know what's going on there. It doesn't have much information about me or my image, or I don't really see the summary or the experience. I don't know. It does a very poor job. And I'm also constantly clipping YouTube videos because I'm normally it would be product videos, but let's do the Batman Superman trailer. And I come over here and in Evernote, and while that's happening, I'll come over here and do the same thing in OneNote. And you'll notice that on the Evernote side, it actually grabs and embeds the HTML, and over here in the Microsoft world, it does nothing. It doesn't do nothing. That's unfair. It brings in some text. I don't know. It's got loading here. This feature is not available. Please try again later. As you can see, much, much better in the Evernote side. So there you have it. I think you can see quite clearly that the Evernote web clipper just blows away the Microsoft OneNote clipper. That is not an overall product review. Microsoft OneNote is an incredible tool. I love the way it has a canvas-like page layout. Obviously, the integration with the rest of Microsoft Office 365 is fantastic. But for those of you that are asking me why I continue to use Evernote, just from my personal daily workflow, which as an analyst is gathering lots and lots of information from various websites, videos, product reviews, LinkedIn profiles of the people I'm meeting with, etc., Evernote wins hands down. I hope this has been useful. Alan Lepofsky from Constellation Research, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me via any of the social media means. Thanks. Bye.